Turn the screen this way when you get to sit.
I'm scared I'll move it when I do because it's just sitting up there. It ain't.
Well, tighten it up. You make it tight as you want it. Gotta go the other way to tighten it up.
Turn it that way and then it stops.
You know it's recording, right?
Yeah. Lord mercy. Why ain't it wanting to focus? Something is causing it not to focus.
Oh, really? Turn the screen so let me see. That's good from here.
I know it ain't. Well, it is now. Well, when I go down,
Okay. It's recording.
edit it a little
That's
bit.
it. We don't know nobody no editing now.
Say something.
Testing 1, 2.
Testing 1, 2.
You're watching Gumbo Live. We're glad to be here back at the Bread Basket. And I'm continuing my series that I started on the youth of Eufaula. And when we talk about the youth of Eufaula, we're talking also about the youth of America. And what do we have to offer our youth here in Eufaula? Next week you're gonna see a program where I talked with Dr. Ware and Dr. Flemings, and they tell us the main problem is with the parents. I'm here with another concerned citizen about the youth here in Eufaula, and he has taken on his own to do something about the youth. You know, to offer the youth something. You know, we say that there's nothing for our youth here to do. So he's taken up on his own to do something, and I'm going to introduce to you and let him tell you exactly who he is. He's from right here in Eufaula, famous ball player at Tuskegee and the hated Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Watson. Thank you, sir. God bless you. God bless you. You're doing fine. Tell our listening audience out there just exactly who you are, and then we'll talk about this as a later.
My name is Drury Watson. I'm a native of Eufaula here. I spent a few years away in Detroit, where I spent as a teacher. But upon returning home, I'm trying to get the youth here in Eufaula to get an opportunity to see things and do things that a lot of them are not exposed to.
Okay, all right. And how you got an organization? You got an organization. Tell us about My Brother's Keeper organization. Tell us about that, and tell our audience not only about the program, but what inspired you to do this program.
The name of the program is My Brother's Keeper. The 40 years that I worked in the education field in Detroit, at the school where I worked, which was Malcolm X Academy, we had the program My Brother's Keeper, and it was attached to Michigan State education. The kids got opportunity to go up to Michigan State, spend the weekend, live in the dorms, and even occasionally go to some classes.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Watson. you brought this, is this a successful program that was done in Detroit?
Right.
And you brought it here?
Correct.
Now, who is it connected with here? You said they're connected with Michigan State.
Right.
Are we connected with anybody here, or do we plan to try to get connected?
At the present time, we're not connected, but I'm trying to get connected to my alma mater, which is Tuskegee, and there we'll be able to go up there hopefully and sit in on some classes, whatever Tuskegee has to offer.
Well, I can tell you from doing my research, Tuskegee has a very lot to offer. Tuskegee is a very prestigious school, and if you could tie up with Tuskegee,
Right.
man, that would absolutely be something. That would absolutely be something. So now, let's talk about this. When we talk about our youth, unfortunately, we're gonna have to categorize our youth so far as what you know. I think it was Dr. Ware who said that we need to start reaching them at the young as 4 years old. I don't want to try to put words in his mouth, but if I remember correctly, when I interviewed him last week, see what I was originally going to do was air. Those who are watching the program now, which is Tuesday,
Okay.
I was going to air Dr. Flemings and Dr. Ware. But since you got something coming up that I think we ought to talk about, I'm going to air you now and air them. But anyway, he said that we ought to concentrate on them as young as 4. That's Dr. Ware. What age group are you concerned about? What age group are you going to concentrate on?
Basically 8 to 22.
8
To
to
22.
22.
Right.
All right. Why that age? Why that age?
At that age, you're talking about basically 3rd grade. Those are very formative years, and these are kids that can basically take care of themselves. And in our program, we will have tutorial sessions as well as mentoring sessions. In the mentoring session, the kid will be placed with an adult, and that adult will become that kid's big brother. And as a result of that, they'll be able to help financially with the kid as well as discipline with the kid.
Now, that brings up several questions. Let's start off first of all. If we're going to, where are you going to operate out of so far as the children? And I hear you talking, helping them with their schoolwork and homework. Where are you going to do this at?
We'll be doing this at First African Baptist Church on Forsyth Street. And we'll be able to use the fellowship hall, which is the basement of the church.
Well, let's take our hat off to Dr. Hunter. That's the pastor over there.
Correct.
Let's take our hat off to Dr. Hunter and say to Dr. Hunter, thank you for allowing this to take place in the fellowship hall, because without his approval, we couldn't do it. So we thank him for that. And thank you, Dr. Hunter, for your concern also about our youth. Now, do you already have the people who are going to be mentored? You already got them lined up?
Right, I have a list of kids I've known throughout my life and who have been basically successful in their youth, and now they have, in their adulthood, which they're retired, they have time to give back to the community and the kids.
Okay, now that's very good. I did not know that. So are we talking about people here in Eufaula?
Correct.
And they have already agreed to you to...
They have given me a verbal agreement to be a mentor to any kid that we get.
Oh man, that's very good. Now, how many you have so far that are committed?
We got many adults that are committed. I got at least 10 and a couple of police officers, as well as, different deacons of different churches.
Yeah.
And I got them included so we can get the youth of their church to fall in line with the program that we have.
Very good. You know one thing I'm glad you said, police officers.
Correct.
Because I think one of the problems, especially we see here in America now, one of the problems that we got in our communities, we got too many folks with negative attitudes about the police.
Especially our youth.
Yeah, especially our youth.
And then with our youth, a lot of them are really afraid of the police. But we need to better the relationship that we have with police officers.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you say that. I'm so happy to hear you say that, because, I'm glad to hear you say that, because I believe that. I believe that we need to, some responsible adults need to do all they can in order to make sure that we have the right attitude and the right, perspective on the police department.
Exactly.
And I'm glad that you have some policemen who are willing to volunteer their time to be mentors. I was sharing with Dr. Ware and Dr. Fleming that when I grew up, that's who had a great effect on those of us who grew up in our community with the police. Working through the recreation department, we had football, baseball, basketball, chess, tennis, and there wasn't nothing to walk out there and one of the officers was out there teaching us how to do different things.
Right, and then in Detroit, it's an organization called PAL, which is Police Athletic League.
Yeah.
Where they took over the Police Athletic League and sponsored as well as coached junior high kids as well as their football and basketball endeavor.
Mm-hmm. Now what about our surrounding areas? We read next door to Clayton and Baker Hill and all that. Are we going to work? Are you strictly staying within the city limits of your father?
No, we're not limited to the area. We're going to include Clayton, Georgetown, Louisville, and part of Russell County that we can reach.
Okay, that's very good. Now on my brother's keeper, is that just you and the staff? I mean, how large a staff do you have? How many folks? I mean, to reach out to these different areas, how many folks you have working with you?
Right now, I have just 2 people working with me, and as we get more kids, we will enlarge that population of people that will be there working. As I say, each kid will be given a mentor, and for each kid that we have, there will be a mentor.
Now, as we go later on, we're gonna give them a number when we talk about this tournament you got coming up.
Right.
So, is there room for volunteers? Is there people who want to volunteer?
Yes. And then I got a couple of adult friends that have already volunteered. For the affair that we're going to have on Labor Day, we're going to cook hot dogs and hamburgers and pass out potato chip as well as pop.
Okay.
Okay,
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Now, Labor Day is what day? That's
Monday, a week from Monday.
Labor.
Last Monday.
Yeah. What's the actual date of Labor Day? 7. The same time you have this tournament.
Correct.
All right, let's talk about that. Because let me tell our audience that's watching Gumbo Live, on Monday, September the 7th, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, there's going to be a Madden and an NBA 2K video game tournament. Am I correct what I said so far?
You're correct.
And the tournament is going to be single elimination, and it's going to be open to high school and middle school division. We have 2 divisions.
2 divisions.
High school and middle school, okay? And you can give out prizes for first and second place.
Right.
All right, and it's going to take place at First African Baptist in the fellowship hall. And First African Baptist is on Forsyth Street. Now, did I tell them right about this information?
Yes, you did.
Tell them right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do it again. And then we're going to talk about the hot dogs and all that other stuff. But let me do this again. On Monday, September the 7th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., there's going to be a Madden and an NBA 2K video game tournament.
Right.
It's going to be a single elimination tournament. It's going to be open to high school, well, not open, got 2 divisions.
Right.
You got a high school and a middle school division.
Right.
And you're all giving away prizes. And it's going to be at First African Baptist on Forsyth Street, here in the city of Eufaula. But it's open to everybody that you just talked about, all these areas. Right? Now, let's talk about this $5 admission fee.
Right.
Okay, now what do that do?
If you enter into the football portion, that's $5. If you enter into the basketball portion, that's $5. And we will have refreshments for the kids.
Okay. Now, let's talk about refreshments. Okay. When you say refreshment, is that just for the people that's participating in the tournament?
Correct.
Or what about somebody just coming in there and he's just watching, or some kid ain't got nothing else to do, and they really don't know how to play these video games, would there be anything there for them?
Yes, they'll have the same impression. They get an opportunity. And, you know, being the kind of organization that we are, we welcome any kid, especially kids that don't have.
Okay. So now, Gumbo Live is going to sponsor, we're going to sponsor some kids. We're going to sponsor some kids. So if some kids come up there that don't have that mission that they want to play, I know a lot of kids play this stuff.
Right.
You understand? So what we saying to your children now, if you're good at Madden and NBA 2K,
Right.
you know how to play the video game, you want to get in the tournament, we'll make it possible for them to get in the tournament. Mark on sponsor a kid or two.
All right.
Gumbo Live will sponsor some kids. And we want to make sure. Now this is what I want to go back and reemphasize. It's going to be Monday, September the 7th, from 9 until 12. Now 9 to 12 is the tournament, or that's the whole, everything is over at 12?
Basically, we'll hopefully be through about 12, but if not, we'll continue to the afternoon, so
Okay.
everybody get a fair and equal opportunity to participate.
Okay, and the main thing I want to talk about now is that there's some children out there like me who don't know how to operate these video games
Right.
enough to get in the tournament.
PlayStation.
But when you get PlayStation, but when you said hot dogs and potato chips,
Right.
okay,
And pop.
and pop. So we can come out there, and we don't know how to play, and get some hot dogs, pop, and chips.
Right. Good dog. Chips. And this spectator.
Okay, and now they can get free of charge for the pops and chips and all that stuff. The $5 just for the tournament, is that correct?
Right.
That's
Correct.
just for the tournament.
Right.
So if you're not playing in the tournament, but you're coming out there to support, you can still get the hot dogs, potato chips, and the pop.
Correct.
All right. Now this is a great chance. I got a very good listening audience. I got a very large viewing audience.
Okay.
Now this is the chance right now, Mr. Watson. If you need something,
Right.
you can speak to the audience of Gumbo Live right now and tell them what you might need. If you might need some chips, some sodas, some hot dogs, whatever you might need, you got a chance now to tell our audience.
And then with the audience, anything that you can donate, and it will be deeply appreciated. And as I said, this is for the kids that don't have.
Okay. Now let's do this here. Let's do this here. For more information, you can call Mr. Dre Watson at 313-377-8275.
Right.
And I can assure you that Mark will put this up on the screen.
All right.
So if you want to help make this a success, we don't want to turn no children away.
Right.
We don't want to turn no children away. I'm going to sponsor some children for the tournament itself.
Right.
I'm going to sponsor some children. Mark going to sponsor some children. Tony going to sponsor some children. So we'll get some children to sponsor me for $5. Come on.
Right.
For $5, Higher Ground Ministry will sponsor some children. The main thing is,
And I will sponsor some.
okay, you're putting children in a safe environment,
Correct.
doing something that would challenge their minds. I watch people play these video games on these PlayStations.
Right.
That's very challenging.
Right. And fun.
And fun. It's very challenging. It's fun to even watch.
Right. And then this is an opportunity for inclusion, not exclusion. What we want to do is include as many youngsters in this program as possible.
Okay. And again, we want to thank First African Baptist for. Now, First African Baptist, for those of you who may not know, is located on Forsyth Street. Matter of fact, it's 301 Forsyth right here.
Right.
If you're watching this program and you're coming and you don't know where it's at, if you turn on the side of the police station,
Right.
either street on the side of the police station will take you to First African Baptist.
Right.
But Forsyth is the street before you get to the police station.
Right.
But so we want you to come out, and again, I'm gonna try it again. It's the Madden and NBA 2K video game tournament.
Right.
Monday, September the 7th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's going to be located at First African Baptist Church Fellowship Hall. Now, when you hear about this thing again, excuse me, when you hear about it again, or you see a flyer, and you see this